I'm Abbie Chatfield and I am delighted to be hosting tonight's REELise Bites on body image. We're about to watch a film called Rewrite the Story by Madison Firth and Rachel Burns. I'll be back right after the screening to have a chat with some very special guests.
I'm nervous. Good. Okay. My name is Maddie. I'm a university student living in Perth and I love to make people laugh.
My name is Rachel, I'm 18 years old. I love to help others and I'm working towards a career in the health field.
Susanna, in a nutshell, I like to be positive, just bring everyone up with me.
My name is Michelle Boise, I'm 20 years old. I currently work in fashion retail and I am on the side a freelance model.
My relationship with my body is definitely great on some days, but maybe not so great on other days, and that's okay.
I would describe my relationship with my body as complex, mainly negative. It's something I'm working on for sure.
Growing up, I always struggled with my relationship with food. I found myself constantly overeating as a coping mechanism.
I would describe my relationship with my body as very complicated. About 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with anorexia nervosa. My mental health as a whole, especially my eating disorder, has contributed to my relationship with my body in a very negative way.
How have societal pressures influenced your relationship with your body?
Societal pressures have influenced my relationship with my body in a very negative way. Being part of the first kind of generation that grew up with social media and all of these influences, definitely something that we as a society need to look at combating before more generations have this issue.
What's out there on social media? Competing, comparing. It's very in your face. We always want what we don't have.
Throughout my childhood, I really struggled to visualize what this concept of healthy looked like. There's this certain view of what health and beauty is, and it opposed what my body looked like. I think I was 12 when I started my first keto diet in an attempt to look healthy.
Although there is a lot of misconception that eating disorders are a cause of diet culture, that's not the case. However, society and the focus around weight and shape has definitely affected my relationship.
Describe a time you didn't feel enough.
In competing with my twin sister, she got first and I got second. I didn't feel great because I felt second, and back then I was like, who wants to be second? And I didn't realise that I was still great in my own way being second.
The negativity surrounding the diet culture led me to a really dark place. I refused to look at myself in the mirror and I would just avoid it at all costs.
The overarching idea that weight loss is always healthy and a normal goal to strive towards definitely led me to feel that I am not sick enough. I didn't realise that my behaviour wasn't normal. That is largely to blame on society, giving power to the ideas that they are just these small inconveniences in life that everyone experiences at one time or another when it's not.
There was a guy I had a crush on at school and I was a little bit bigger back in my childhood days. He basically told me he wouldn't go out with me because of my weight. I definitely didn't feel enough then.
What makes you feel confident in your own body?
I'm just gonna take a minute.
Not a lot. It takes a lot of time when your mind has been trained into hating it for so long. This relates back to society's representation of eating disorders. The idea that they're easy snap fix is just so wrong.
I was part of a very well-known pageant competition this year. By proving that if I could do it, everyone else can, that definitely made me feel confident in myself because I feel like I'm helping others.
I do a lot of boxing on the bags. I feel like a Xena warrior princess. That's what makes me feel amazing.
Dancing actually helps me to feel confident in my own body. I started dancing a few years ago. It helped me to gain a lot of confidence. What advice do you give other people struggling with their own body image?
You're not going to be in a negative moment forever.
Try and surround yourself with positive influences. I know that's easier said than done, but yeah, healthy looks different on everybody.
Body image is all about perspective. What you see with yourself in the mirror is not what someone else sees.
We definitely need to just shift the attitudes that we hold.
Instead of changing yourself to look a certain way, embracing what you've already got, and the self-realization that that is very beautiful.
Less bombardment from all of these diet culture, weight loss industries. It's just ridiculous.
Be a little bit more supportive and empowering.
You just need to stay within yourself. You're beautiful in your own.
Being healthy or beautiful isn't something that's determined by a number on a scale or a certain clothing size. We can't expect people to thrive when society itself does not endorse it, constantly pushing ideas of weight loss, intense exercise and dieting. We need to stop conditioning children to believe they need to change or look a certain way through educating others and dissecting diet culture. It's time to rewrite the story.
What an amazing film. I loved seeing young women speak so candidly and openly about their body image. I mean, being shamed in the media and on social media and even in real life about my body, I can really relate, and I got a lot from that. Well, on REELise Bites, we now have 3 very special guests. We have the filmmaker, Madison Firth. We have REELise youth director, Em Hamilton. And we also have drag race superstar, Etcetera Etcetera. Thanks for joining us.
No worries, pleasure to be here.
Excited to chat you all. Maddie, congratulations. Your film was amazing. What motivated you to focus on this issue?
So during lockdown, I sort of reflected on the topic of your story, and I thought about how one of the main things that I've been dealing with the past few years was body image issues, and I thought that'd be an appropriate focus for the film. I feel like everyone has their own story and journey with their body image, so I thought that something that was sort of documentary style would be a good way to encompass all the different stories. And I think there's something so empowering about seeing all of these stories. At least for me, it makes me feel a lot less alone, and there's sort of a sense of comfort in knowing that other people have similar issues to myself.
Absolutely. And what's your reaction to the film?
I loved it. I thought it was really succinct and good. Just having the interview style meant that they could zip through a lot of different body image issues very quickly and in a very personal way.
I think young people talk from the source, talking about their own opinions and ideas about body image issues is the most powerful way to discuss these issues. Quite often it's, removed into a third person kind of discussion, but to see everyone talking about it from the heart so openly and honestly was really special.
So true. Do you consider yourself to have a healthy body image?
I think for me, like most people, it's a daily battle. And I think, unfortunately, social media, and I went to an all-girls school, which gives you a lot of privilege in life, but great body image isn't one of them. It was very difficult, and I still to this day find it quite hard on a daily basis to sort of navigate body image.
So body image is an issue more discussed in the context of cis people or hetero people, etc., etc. Have you experienced gender dysphoria and body image issues?
Absolutely. I think when you grow up in a space where your body gets discussed on the media, where you can go to the bathroom, where you can't go to the bathroom, surgery, you're sitting in the middle of this vibrant public debate about who you are as a person, and that affects how you look at your body. I also think that everyone experiences, to some point, a sense of pressure from the media about how they should look, and from social media and from other people in the public sphere. And I think that everyone, but especially people that are on those intersections of queerness and race and socioeconomic status, experience sometimes layers to body image.
How important is it to speak about gender dysphoria and body image issues within the trans community?
It's really important, and I think for visibility, but also the more people that speak about it, the more people realise that it's a real thing. I mean, before I really came into my own realisation of my gender identity, I often saw gender dysphoria as something that was kind of alien and different, and I thought, I don't think I'll ever experience that. And then as I kind of experienced life more and more, I realised when my body doesn't align with my mind, it is quite a debilitating thing sometimes that is hard to explain because it comes from such personal experience.
So recently, a Facebook whistleblower accused Facebook of willfully putting users in danger to pursue profits. A leaked survey found that 17% of teenage girls said their eating disorder became worse after using Instagram. Maddie, how do you think social media plays a role in eating disorders?
I think that social media, for me at least, has played a very big role in my body confidence. While social media isn't the cause of eating disorders, I think that it's certainly a big contributing factor. For me, I grew up with social media all throughout primary school and high school, and I think it just creates a big space for comparison.
Have you ever felt pressure to edit your photos, or have you edited your photos?
Well, I honestly don't really post very much because I'm quite insecure, but I usually post like little videos on my Instagram and that sort of thing, but yeah, there obviously is a big pressure to like edit photos and that sort of thing, which I see quite a bit as well.
How about you, Em?
Yeah, I feel a lot of pressure. I think basically the permanence of social media is a huge thing for me. Like if a friend posts a bad photo of me, I'm like, oh, all of these people are going to see that it's going to be there forever. And I can't sort of defend it and be like, oh, it's just a bad day or a bad angle. Like I find that a huge struggle when it comes to social media.
Yeah, how about you?
I mean, I suppose creating drag and creating work in the drag space and the makeup space, I'm all about changing my body and to create my art. But then it becomes, what are the healthy standards when I'm out of drag or when I'm in drag? Sometimes drag queens, you know, they change their body with Photoshop, and sometimes it you know, it fits into the category of art and creativity, but sometimes it is perpetuating unhealthy stereotypes. Like, no one has a waist that's, you know, a couple of hands across, but people definitely like to present the images of the perfect shape and the perfect body, and I don't think that necessarily exists. I think that trying to chase those ideals, even in drag, can be unhealthy and toxic.
So Maddie, having poor body image can impact mental health. Have you ever experienced that?
I think that body image definitely goes hand in hand with mental health. There's been times that I've been feeling really down on myself, and that's flowed into other aspects of mental health. I think in terms of like seeking help for how you're feeling mentally, everyone's sort of different, but I really like talking to my friends. I think they're really good at uplifting me, and you know, some of my core memories of them just like lifting me up when I felt really insecure. So I think that's a good way to sort of balance it out.
Has your body image affected your mental health?
Definitely. I think anxiety plays a huge part in body image as well. It's just the way that you think you present to other people. It becomes quite difficult to socialize normally if you're constantly thinking, do I look okay right now? Like, is my skirt sitting the right length? Like, that kind of thing. It's very hard.
I think at times I've been depressed from other things in my life, and because of that, you know, I've been not the version of my lifestyle that I currently live, and you know, I've put on weight, I've not done my skincare, I've not had my hair done, and you tend to look at yourself in those moments and it snowballs. You go, because I'm depressed, these other things are happening and I don't like the way that I look. And I think it's about separating yourself from the situation and realizing that you don't have to punish yourself for your body changing or your body not looking a certain way. That just happens with life sometimes.
So how do we cultivate healthy body image?
I think it's about looking at yourself and celebrating the things that you do love, and finding the people around you that celebrate you for who you are and you celebrate them. Some of my friends, when I'm not feeling my most beautiful or my most, you know, glamorous, they definitely are able to have the conversations that make me appreciate the things about myself that I love.
Absolutely. Em?
Definitely. I think also following the right accounts on social media is a huge one. You can get stuck in a very like specific trap of people who are very perfect and all fitness models or something, and it's very hard to break out of the mentality if that's all you're seeing. But if you start to sort of broaden your horizons and diversify the kinds of people that you follow, it becomes a lot easier to be like, the spectrum for normal is so much bigger than I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. Maddie, any advice?
I definitely agree that it's really important to surround yourself with good friends, because that makes the biggest difference. And I think it's really important that we hype each other up and give compliments where we can, because you never really know what someone's going through. And sometimes I've been in situations where the smallest compliment has changed my entire outlook on the day. So I think that's really important.
How does being a filmmaker empower you?
It's been a really fun experience to share my story with the world. Usually I'm the one behind the camera, not in front of the camera. So this year's been a little bit different, but I think it's really awesome to share my story and, you know, hear other people going through similar things to make us all feel a bit better and a bit more empowered.
And what's the theme for this year's festival?
So the theme for the REELise 2022 festival is viral, which I think is it's one of my favorite ones, because I think it really opens the discussion to what the online landscape is like right now, and also particularly how it's changed and how people are navigating it after the pandemic, when online connection has been such a huge part of our lives for so long. It's really interesting to see not only the brilliant bright side of that, but the challenges that's brought as well.
Well, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Abbie.
Thanks, you.
Guys. And to anyone out there struggling with body image, please reach out for help. Talk to your GP, a parent, or a school counsellor. There are even amazing organisations like the Butterfly Foundation. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.